Emir of Kano's insult to Tinubu. Can you imagine? How did he insult Tinubu? I know it's all about the rising cost of food and cost of living in Nigeria. I'm sure everybody is a big concern now, and people are already seeing the handout on the wall that Nigeria is heading to a collapse. So now, this has been written by Sheyi Ayodele. Let's see his perspective. The land of Samaria was once under intense hunger. There was hunger in the land, occasioned by serious famine. So the famine was caused by the siege laid on the city by other king. Okay, Ben-Hadad, the king of Syria. The situation was such that cannibalism became the order of the day. Two women agreed to eat their sons, and the first one, in her fidelity to the agreement, killed and boiled her son for supper. Then, Duo ate the meal. Now, when the time came for the second woman to also offer her son, she reneged. King Jeroboam was passing by, and then he heard the wailing of the first mother, and inquired what afflicted her. The woman narrated her story. Okay, of course, the king was troubled. He tore his clothes and put on a sackcloth in mourning. So he took a personal oath and promised to have the head of Elisha the prophet, blaming him and his prophecies for the trouble in the land. This account is rendered in 2 Kings 6, 20, verses 25 to 31. So every bad leader blames someone else but himself, okay, for the failure of his government. Something similar is already happening in Nigeria. Parents have started selling their children to buy food for the others. So Samaria is already here. Is President Bola Tinubu aware? So in a situation akin to what my people call Omo Inala Rashino, you send the child of fire to fire. So the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero, sent the First Lady, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, to her husband, President Tinubu. Okay, so the Emir told Mrs. Tinubu, tell your husband to address hunger and insecurity in Nigeria. The Emir admitted that the two issues of hunger and starvation did not start with this government, but the situation has become more alarming and needs urgent attention. Again, the Kano foremost traditional ruler admitted that although we have several means of communicating to the government on our needs and requests, but your way and means are the surest way to tell the president the actual happenings in the country. So Alhaji Bayero spoke through an interpreter to the wife of the president who was in his domain to perform a formal duty. Check the emir's background. You will find him a well-lettered individual, but he chose to speak in Hausa to a non-Hausa speaking guest. Okay, there are ways with emirs when they address aliens, but I will not delve into that here. So it is rather unfortunate that the Emir of Kano, Alhaji Ado Bayero, who lost his tongue for the complete 8 ruinous year, and the Bayahida II General Muhammadu Buhari ruled this country, will suddenly find his voice in the 8 months of Tinubu's administration. Okay, so Dado Bayero, for the 8 years of Tinubu, did not talk. Buhari did not talk, but suddenly, after 8 months of Tinubu, he has found his way to talk now. It is true that once one is down because of a big problem, the inconsequential ones would seize the opportunity to trample on one's tummy and the balls to toys. Okay? So where was the Emir of Kano when Buhari brought this country to its knees for 8 solid years? Where and when did Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero send any message of urgent attention to Buhari to address the insecurity and hunger in the land? Do we blame the Emir or the man, Tinubu, whose masquerade has refused to dance very well? Wow. I say I am not a prophet of doom, and I am not afraid to be labeled also. Disaster looms at the rate we are going. Hunger is already in the land. Unfortunately, there is no market in Nigeria from Nasarawa to Gombe to Anambra and everywhere else where there are no foodstuffs on display. What is lacking is the purchasing power. The quality of our naira has depreciated so much that a huge amount of money buys nothing from the market. That is the situation according to the country, across the country. So the Tinubu government responded by saying it would release millions of tons of grains to the market. I shook my head in pity. Is that the solution? When the stocks from the Nigerian for national silos are exhausted, what will the people resort to? Or are the stocks from the exalted silos inexhaustible? Besides, how much will it cost a trader in Nigeria or a new Benin market to travel to the silos in Auchi to buy the grains and bring the same back to Benin to sell? In Benin City and adjoining towns and villages, a liter of fuel goes for an average of 660 naira per liter. Due to the bad roads between Benin and Auchi, commuters spend an average of 7 hours for a journey of less than 2 hours. Less than 2 hours before. So this is a very bad situation now that Nigeria has found itself, and the language that Tinubu is speaking, we don't understand it, I tell you the truth. So what sort of leadership is Tinubu providing? My people said that when the lead giant ant misses the road, his followers become a flock without a shepherd. What exactly is the economic drift of this administration? What is its focus, and how long does the government think the people will endure its voodoo or voodoo monetary policy of ways and means, which in street parlance is printing of money to pay federal government workers salary every month before something would snap. So now the Alajado Bayero has actually sent that message through Tinubu to Tinubu. But what this guy is writing here is that even though the bad government and poverty and pain and hunger started with Buhari's government, Tinubu had just skyrocketed it, and there's exactly nothing anyone can do. Even some people are asking that where was Ado Bayero when Buhari was there for 8 years? He didn't say anything. Suddenly he had just found himself or found his voice. This is a serious one. I must tell you the truth. Okay. So there are a few comments here. Let me see. Only one comment. Someone say very ridiculous indeed. Yeah, the situation we are in is absolutely ridiculous. So thank you for listening, and let's have your comments.